Let's talk about housing a little bit more. My name is Jon Kiper, and I'm running for governor of New Hampshire. So I've been saying for a long time that one of the reasons that we don't have enough housing, or the main reason, is because zoning laws have stopped affordable housing from being built over the last 50 years. Now, this is true, but I learned something today which really kind of blew my mind. And I want to just tell you a quick story that explains this. So when I was running my restaurant, I had an employee that was on Section 8 housing. And I knew this because I had to fill out income verification paperwork for him periodically, every 6 months or so. And at one point, he happened to mention to me, he said, hey, my rent went up. But my landlord said, don't worry about it because I'm going to put your rent up, but the government is increasing the amount that they'll pay for Section 8, so it's going to get paid for by the government, so don't worry about it. So I thought, that's kind of weird, right? So the landlord just raised the rent, the government pays more. Doesn't really incentivize the landlord to lower the rent, now does it? And I thought to myself, you know, the state of New Hampshire and the country of the United States is spending a lot of money on Section 8 vouchers that's going to private landlords, while at the same time we have our own housing authority properties, our own houses, that the government maintains and pays for through the New Hampshire Housing Authority. Why wouldn't we just expand those so that the landlords aren't getting the money the state is, so that there's not the profit margin that the private landlords are taking out? It doesn't make a lot of sense. And I thought, why wouldn't they just use the Section 8 money to build our own apartment buildings, right? Well, they used to do that. And you know what year they stopped? 1980 or 1982, but it was the 80s, and it was Ronald Reagan who did that. And I just want to read you this quick part of my book, Community First Economics, that I'm working on. Because I think this is really important for people to understand how the government used to fund housing. And the fact of the matter is we don't have enough affordable housing right now is because you cannot build affordable housing in a way that makes profit. You can't. It's impossible to do. It's very hard to do anyway. And for many, many years, the government of the United States built the affordable housing. So the era began with the 1937 Housing Act, which created the nation's public housing system. This was during the New Deal. Federal dollars flowed to local housing authorities to build durable, permanently affordable homes. Contrary to stereotypes that emerged later, many early public housing was well built and provided stable environments for millions of families. As the population grew, federal housing programs expanded. Senior housing was added through Section 202 in 1959, allowing nonprofits to build deeply affordable homes for older Americans. Programs such as Section 221D3 and Section 236 offered below-market financing and mortgage subsidies to developers who agreed to maintain affordability. Together, these programs produced hundreds of thousands of units nationwide and shaped the housing landscape for decades. In 1974, Congress created Section 8 New Construction, which provided long-term federal subsidies to build affordable apartment buildings. At its peak, this program produced tens of thousands of units every year. For a short period, the United States had a national housing system capable of meeting the growing population's needs. And then, almost overnight, it was dismantled. Okay? It's not just us. Okay? It's not just us. It's not just this state. It's not just a fluke of economics that we don't have enough housing. It's because the federal government has been gutted since the time that I was born in 1982, and that we are living with the shell of a federal government, a shell of the government compared to what our parents and our grandparents had. And that's why things suck right now, and they're not going to get better until we recognize that we cannot, the free market failed to fix this problem. That's why they eliminated the Section 8 construction, because they thought the free market would just, we'll open the free market. We'll use these tax incentives, and the market will take care of it. The market didn't take care of it. That's why we have elderly people sleeping in their cars, why we have homeless people, because the federal government has failed its mission, and we've got to realize where we're at and how we got here.